Hey guys, FrozenStag here, and welcome to a brand new series on Crusader Kings 2, a Game of Thrones mod. It has been quite a long time, about a year since the last time I actually recorded anything to do with Crusader Kings 2. Why? I sort of just lost interest. I did a hell of a lot of it back in 2020 and the end of 2019, to the point where I just got fucking burnt out of it. And it's a shame really, because I really enjoyed Crusader Kings 2, it's just I just did too much of it. And it's something that I've wanted to bring back to the channel for quite a while. CK2 was like the heart and soul of this YouTube channel quite a few years back. Now it's more gone to Total War, and that's partly why I sort of stepped away from CK2. Obviously CK3 came out. I wasn't too interested in that really. It was a good game. It needed some work, but it was decent. I enjoyed what I played of it, but it just wasn't the same as CK2, and no doubt I'm sure we'll revisit CK3 at some point, but for now I want to play CK2. CK2 is a game that I've had a lot of history with, judging by the amount of hours I've spent on this game, which is shocking considering the amount of... I've only got 11 achievements, that's mainly just because I don't play in Iron Man mode hardly ever. I have been playing a fair bit of this recently, mainly just getting back into it and getting used to it, and sort of thinking about, because I missed this game, and I felt to myself, let's try it again. And I've been playing quite a lot of it recently, and it's got me in that mood to actually record and to sit down and make campaigns out of it. And I thought to myself, let's do that. Total War is great, and I think Total War will be like the big stuff on my channel these days. But Crusader Kings 2 is still something I wanted to sort of do alongside it, pretty much. Have CK2 and get Total War or whatever with Total War as sort of the main sort of content type on the channel, and maybe we'll do something alongside that. I don't entirely know, but yeah, I wanted to play this, and there's a lot of stuff I've done in this game that I've done a lot of stuff in this game, but there's also stuff that I haven't done as well. To be honest, I barely really scratched the surface really. Of course, I did a lot of stuff, obviously, with this obviously, I've didn't do fuck all for 2,425 hours. I did a hell of a lot. But there were still the odd things and lots of other things that I never actually quite got around to doing. And that's quite a fair thing. Like, I never played as the sort of the Mongol sort of guys with the horde mechanic. I never really delved into played any Muslim sort of Islamic factions or Jewish factions or any of that. Not any Chinese stuff as well, because obviously you got the Chinese update and stuff in the East now. I never really delved... There's still a lot of stuff I never quite delved into, which is a shame, really. And it's partly why I came back to sort of think, okay, there's a lot of stuff I can do, and let's do that. With CK3, obviously CK3 is very good. I'm not going to say it's bad. It's certainly not bad. Obviously, it's going to need a lot of updates and work before it gets up to CK2 level. Especially in the modding scene as well. But there's still so much in CK2 that I need to do anyway. I wanted to do anyway. So let's roll with that. So, Game of Thrones. Yeah, this Game of Thrones is something I've been interested in since about 2014. That's when I got into watching the show. Or started off with Season 4. And I eventually went back and rewatched Season 1, 2, and 3. And I was pretty hyped for it, really. And then eventually Season 5 came out, and I was pretty hyped all the way up to about Season 8, and then after then, it just kicked the shit out of me. Season 8 wasn't great. I think a lot of people will agree with me there. Season 8 wasn't great at all. I mean, it's sure there's some people that might have liked it, and if you liked it, then that's entirely up to you. I didn't. I just didn't enjoy it at all. Some of it was good, but other bits were just bad. The writing was awful. I mean, I'm not going to go into detail about why it sucks. I don't need to do that. No one's really here to listen to me rant on about Game of Thrones, or maybe you are, I don't know. But but there's so many videos out there that will explain to you why, and most of my reasons for disliking it align with most of those reviews and stuff like that. But Game of Thrones, I still like it. I still actually like it. I mean, the show I despise. But the books I like. There's still the odd games. The CK2, Game of Thrones, I love that. There's still a lot I like about Game of Thrones, and it's And it's one of those things that I never quite... I mean, after about Season 8, I sort of disliked it for a while. And after a while, towards the end of the... About, was it August, I think? I wasn't really that long. But I sort of wanted to play Game of Thrones again, just to get... When I say play Game of Thrones, I mean this mod. And I got into it again, and I sort of wanted to sort of do my own story. Ignore the show, and all that, and just do my own thing. Obviously, I have read all the books. I've read the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms book as well. I'm still sort of reading... Well, I haven't really started reading it yet, but... I have, of course, got the Fire and Blood book, which is sort of the history of the Targaryen dynasty. Most of it I already know anyway, but I might have to give that a read prior to the new series coming out later this year, called House of the Dragon, which is set during the Dance of the Dragon time period, which is a time period I'm very much looking forward to seeing explored in live action. Of course, it'll be watered down, like all TV shows these days. It's never going to be entirely strict to the book. But again, George R. R. Martin did give it some praise not long ago, so maybe it might actually be pretty good. Maybe it might be even... It might might actually have a lot of cool stuff from the books in it as well. And maybe it might even be... It might stick to the books, whereas some TV shows and many other movies and stuff so on these days... They don't seem to stick to the book. They tend to just do their own thing, which I guess is understandable. But it's sort of you have a really good plot line in the book, and then you just decide, yep, we're not going to follow this. We'll just do our own thing, and it's going to be mediocre at best. It baffles me why shows and why people just don't stick to the books. Like it's a pretty good. I mean, it's the reason sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes there's too much content in the book to really cover in the show or a film series. So they have to water things down, which is understandable. But sometimes it's just, why? But, if the title of the series isn't entirely... if it isn't obvious, we're playing as the Starks. Not quite the Starks as you'd remember. This is slightly different. In honor of us bringing back CK2, yes, I also have actually set up an upload schedule. The last episode I put up yesterday, I'd recommend you watch that, all of it, and that essentially explains a lot of the stuff that's going on. A lot of the changes to the Discord is going on as well. I'm also changing up, I've also brought in an upload schedule, so I'd recommend you listen to that video, or just check my Discord out, it's on there. And also I tested out uploading at 10 PM yesterday to see what would happen, and it sort of went... I think it went alright, but I'm actually watched the video and actually a video that explained how what the best times to upload, and obviously one of the things was uploading once a week, because it's more of a usually most big YouTubers tend to upload once a week because that's when you get the best traction. But if I uploaded one series a week, we'd never get through anything. I'd be like on my Dwarfs of Khazad-dûm campaign by about January next year, so that just wouldn't work. But one point was good, is that he pointed out the idea of uploading a couple hours before when most of your viewers come on. And that time seemed to be around 6 PM for me. And it's 5 PM to 7 PM roughly. So I thought, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload at 3 PM. And see how it goes there, and see if that's better off. And I'd likely stick for 3 PM. Obviously, the Discord announcement will be slightly different, because as some of you will know, and I covered this in my video yesterday, I'm going to be starting a new job. Well, on the day you're watching this, which is going to be on Thursday, I will be doing I'm doing my training day. So, yeah. So the Discord announcements for upload videos will probably be slightly later, which is it doesn't really matter. Most people can see it on YouTube anyway, and if people haven't seen it, then and if people need a reminder, then you'll get it on Discord. But yeah, enough of that out of the way. On to the series at hand. In honor of us bringing back this series, bringing back Crusader Kings to the channel, I brought some cream liqueurs that I had from Christmas, and I never got around to drinking them, so we're gonna drink them. Probably not a good idea because I'm gonna work tomorrow, but fuck it. I drank one of the salted caramel ones about around Christmas time. So I've got a mint chocolate cream liqueur, which I'm not sure how that will taste a bit odd, I imagine. And I've got just a normal chocolate cream liqueur. So yeah, we shall start with probably start with the normal chocolate one, then we'll do the mint one last, I think. So yeah. So hopefully I can make it. Hopefully I'm awake tomorrow. If not, bugger. Nah, I'll be awake. It's fine. There's not a whole lot in this. It's just little mini bottles, so it's not a whole lot. It's not like it's like a litre bottle or something like that. So yeah. All right. Okay. So on to the series at hand. We are playing as the Stark Dynasty. Not quite in the in the place you'd expect the Starks to be, but let me go through the scenario. So we are playing in 7998. For those who are unfamiliar with what's going on this time period, it is a time period of Aegon's conquest. However, if you play as Aegon Targaryen, and this is what I did to begin with, Aegon has three options. He can obviously go on and conquer Westeros and unite the Seven Kingdoms and so on. Or he can actually accept the Storm King's offer, I think, and I think Argella was to marry Oris Baratheon, matrilineal, and Aegon. Basically just said, no, I think Aegon got land or something, and that was it. I'm not really sure. It's a crappy option, don't do it. Or Aegon can do the New Valyria option, which essentially means he can conquer all of New Valyria, and I'll go this. Essentially, all of this is, and obviously Bravos as well. Essentially, his plan is to conquer all of this, apart from the Dothraki bits here, which he can't get hold of because they just go they essentially turn into, what is it? No, they're essentially there's no holdings there, so technically they wouldn't. The planes or something. I'm not entirely sure how it all works. Eventually, one day I'd like to play as Dothraki, but one day, one series at a time. But so essentially in this scenario, Aegon the Conqueror decided to invade New Valyria, which will certainly make things interesting. And yeah, and it will mean that Westeros will just remain divided into several kingdoms. Of course, in this time period, you got the Martells, Princess Mary of Dawn, otherwise known as the Yellow Toad, which is, I think, that was what the Targaryens nicknamed her in the whole wars and stuff. So you got the Martells in Dawn, you got the Storm Kings, King Argilac the Arrogant, and with his daughter Argella, who's actually matrilineal married to Garmon Hightower. And he's also made an alliance with the Hightower, which we'll get into later on. I've also customized, I tend to do this obviously with my Total War campaigns, right, adding custom generals and changed up a few things and changed up the scenarios a bit more. This is sort of what I've done in CK2. With CK2, I can do it at a lot grander scale. Because obviously the world's massive, I can do loads of stuff. Whereas Total War, I'm sort of limited by modding and all that stuff, and I'm not all that brilliant at modding. However, console commands in CK2, I'm wonderful at. So obviously you got Argilac the Arrogant, you got the Gardeners in charge of the Reach. In Aegon's conquest, the Gardeners were wiped out, and the Tyrells took over. Where are the Tyrells? They're here. Yeah, there they are. And Harlan Tyrell took over as Lord Paramount of the Reach. You've also got the Lannisters in Casterly Rock. You got the Iron King Harren the Black, who's taken over the Riverlands this time period, and pretty much everybody hates the guy, so he's gonna have some trouble keeping the lords happy. The guys over here, the Cracklaw, what is it? Cracklaw Point? No, is it? Yeah, Cracklaw Point. They're sort of split up, so they'll probably get invaded by either Aegon or the Ironborn, probably. You've got the Arryns, Ronald II, who's currently in the hands of a boy, but like the setting of the War of the Five Kings. We've got, now I'll get onto this in a second, but the Wildlings are united under King Sigorn Forrester, who's a badass, and is I wanted to make it so that Beyond the Wall could attack the Night's Watch straight away, but it didn't seem to let me. So yeah, but he's got a lot of troops, so yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what the Beyond the Wall Kingdom does. Will they attack the wall straight away, or will they eventually attack the wall, but not later, but later on? We'll have to find out. But his capital is Fist of the First Men, so yeah. So there's a few things that will kick off in the Reach and the Rock, which is set up. Is a civil war between who is it? Was it Garth or was it Gwaine? I think Gwaine. Essentially, Manfred Hightower and a bunch of other supporters has called together set up a council, set up a faction called which is essentially Sir Gwaine for the Reach. Factions, essentially, you can set up factions like independents, certain people for the throne and stuff like that. And that's what he's done. He's brought together quite a lot of support from other people. He's got the Peaks on his side, the Rowans up at Golden Grove to the north. And the Red Wines, or the Red Wains, is it Red Wayne or Red Wine? I can never decide. Oakheart, and also the Storm Kings as well, which has got alliance with there. So if the Civil War kicks off, the Storm Kings will probably be called into the war, I'd imagine. So it'll be interesting to see how Mern does. Now, the thing about Gwaine, and the same with Garth, both their sons are matrilineal married to the Hightowers. So obviously Gwaine's son will inherit, unless he dies, and then it might go back to Garth or maybe back to Mern. Who knows? Mern Gardner is matrilineal married to Patrice Hightower, who is the granddaughter of the current Lord of Hightower. They won't inherit it because he's already technically Manfred's line from Adam downwards won't inherit it, but the Hightowers will have their own little candidate branch as Kings to Reach essentially later on. There's also going to be a rebellion going in the west as well, which will appear later on. Was it? Let me check. It is Lauren for the Rock, which is the king's uncle right now, basically. Lauren has married a Farman, so he's got the support of House Farman, and all that. Fair Isle's got the support of the Tarbecks over at Tarbeck Hall, and subsequently the Overlords, which is the Rains. So he's married to Tarbeck. His sister is married to Lannister, so they've been married for a while. So Joffrey Lannister is married to a Rain that brings the Rains in, and so Tommen Lannister is married to a Lydon of the Gold Road over here. And there's a bunch of other lords that have gotten involved for the Reach and the Lannisters and the Rock as well. So there'll be an interesting little civil war there to see what happens and see what goes on there. In the north, now this is obviously where our story doesn't entirely begin, but it's sort of where it pretty much starts, I suppose. So, as you may remember, the Starks held the north for quite a while, and up until this point. King Torrhen of the North was king, until he was betrayed and murdered by his enemies, the Boltons, the most trustworthy house in the north. Essentially what happened is that Brandon Snow fell in love with Joanna Bolton, who is the sister of Rodwell, and he actually went off and married her. As a bastard, he couldn't really marry her normally, so he had to marry her matrilineal, which essentially means the Boltons any children he have will be Bolton. So yeah, and essentially Torrhen Stark was pissed at his brother, and a rivalry sort of formed between them, where Torrhen basically said, "Fuck you. You've dishonored the house and married someone," and essentially falling in love with a Bolton and eventually marrying her without the support of either the king or Rodwell Bolton. However, Rodwell Bolton actually formed a bit of a friendship, and Brandon Snow essentially was exiled to the Dreadfort, where Rodwell welcomed him in with welcome arms. welcomed him in with open arms, essentially is what I'm looking for. And essentially, Rodwell and Brandon eventually came up with a plan of how to take back... essentially, Brandon was pissed with his brother and was like, "I would make a better king than my brother." And essentially, Brandon would go on to essentially plan his revenge. Rodwell got the support of other people as well. Domeric, his son, took over the Stony Shore. Actually, that happened after the whole rebellion thing. Yeah, so essentially he married his sisters off to people. Obviously, Joanna's married to the king. Bethany married Roose Risewell, who's the heir to the High Lordship. And John Seller Bolton married Lord Aderin of the North Clans. And his brother actually is at the Night's Watch, so there's no help from him. Lord Durin, that's a fine name. Rodwell. So Rodwell, I believe he also betrothed his daughter off to the Flints of Widow's Watch down here. And essentially got them to join him. Was there anyone else that I'm missing? Oh, and the Risewells I mentioned earlier. And so yeah, so eventually Rodwell planned to attack the north. He rallied lots of mercenaries. Also, the king in the north, Torrhen, was actually... took out a lot of money because he had a lot of wilding attacks not long ago, and essentially took out a loan from the Iron Bank, and essentially was taking too long to pay it, And then the Iron Bank was just like, yep. And supported essentially Brandon, who Brandon, of course, promised he'd give them the money they owed back. So the Iron Bank supported Brandon and gave him a bunch of troops and mercenaries, and with the support of the Boltons and other lords, they essentially began the attack and declared war on Tauren. Tauren was killed in battle. Well, not killed in battle. He was actually captured in battle, and was eventually slowly flayed to death by Rodwell Bolton. Yeah, this guy is fucking evil incarnate. So Tauren was killed, and eventually the heir to the, I think, how did it go? Yeah, Jorah Stark was killed in battle by the Adair of the North clans. It says he's beheaded, but that was just to make it so it looked like he was killed in battle. There's no way to make it so people can get killed in battle when you're through command, so yeah. Also, Rickon Stark was captured by Rodwell Bolton and was tortured pretty fucking badly. And since then, the Boltons and the Starks pretty much despise one another. You can even see Brandon Snow actually kind of hates Rodwell for killing his kin, but technically they're meant to be friends, is how it went. Although I'm sure Brandon didn't really approve of his the execution of his nephews and stuff like that in battle. Brandon, obviously there was no king afterwards, so Jorah would have been the king, but he was killed in battle, and then the North fell to Brandon Snow, who eventually actually basically made his own Catholic branch house of House Wolfheart. There is a chance he might legitimize himself and make himself a Stark, which could lead to us inheriting the North, which what I will do is make it so that doesn't happen, because the whole point of this series is that we're not in the North, we're elsewhere, and that's how it works. That's how the plan anyway. So yeah, the remaining Starks went into exile. I'll get onto that in a second. But essentially what happened is that Brandon took the North. Joanna became the queen. They're in love at the moment. I've given them a lot of fertility just so they have children, so it doesn't go back to the Starks and stuff like that. One thing that's happened is that not long after the North, after Brandon took the North, is that the remaining bannermen that were Lord House Stark, unlike the ones that fled with the Starks, pretty much set up a big council, another faction, and essentially get the Starks to get Brandon Snow to accept the electoral succession, which should mean that we shouldn't inherit. It's also so the Starks don't inherit it back again. So what will happen is that it'll basically be voted upon. Right now, Rodwell is the heir, so essentially it will basically be voted on, but the Brandon Snow and Bolton will try and figure out a way to either change the succession law or make it so that they win, or that they sort of win, essentially. So that's sort of the plan. Bolton, obviously in the power of strength, who is currently was he the heir to the king? Not heir to the king, hand of the king. I'm pretty sure he was hand of the king, or he's been given it anyway. Domric has been given, his eldest son's been given the Stony Short, which strengthens the Boltons. His other son, Lord Norrin, has been given the Blackwood Grove, which is sort of a new region over here. And also the Dustins actually supported the Starks. And the Dustins actually eventually lost their land because of it. Essentially what happened is that Dustin proclaimed ever loyalty for the Starks. And then basically, I'm essentially lore-wise there, the Dustins are loyal banners of the Starks. And they supported the Starks to the point, and essentially, when the Starks lost, Dennis refused to bend the knee, and essentially his son, who was captured, was being held hostage by the Risewells, was beheaded by Lord Ramsay of the Rills. And essentially, Dennis had his lands. Dennis eventually knew that the Risewells declared war on him and the Boltons, and essentially declared him a traitor of the realm. And eventually, Dennis had no choice but to flee into exile and eventually join the Starks. And the Risewells took his lands. Essentially, Lord Garwin was given Fever, which is part of the Barrington Lordship, the Barrowlands. Oh no, that's someone else. No, the eldest son of Lord Donald II was given Moat Caelan to rule over, and the second eldest son of Lord Ramsay, Lord Theo, was granted the Barrowlands, strengthening the Risewells quite considerably. Of course, many of the Northerners despise the Boltons and Brandons. Now, I do expect that maybe, possibly, there might be some plots to have them killed, which could possibly happen. But essentially, many of the Northmen were supported and went off with Brandon, and I'll go for that in a second. Essentially, many of them were houses that supported the Starks, and because many of the houses in the north, despite, well, obviously they did the whole electric succession thing, they still despise the Starks and Boltons, and essentially what happened is that the many of the Lord's sons and distant relatives of the Lords, who essentially the Lords were cowed they were in fear of the Boltons and the new House Wolfheart, and so did basically nothing. And that eventually led to some of the other kin, like Alaric Umber, for example, and I think some of the Glovers, was it, I think, went off? Yeah, Medric Glover, for example, essentially went off with the Starks and just decided to leave the North. Now, the main goal for this series is not to retake the North. We have our own plans. But essentially, that's essentially what happens. There's no real other stuff going on. Aegon's invading Essos. He's got a few people in his court, I think. Corvus Valerian. He's got good warriors in his court. Obviously, Horus Baratheon is currently married to Celtigar. Garen Corbray is a formidable fighter, one of the best fighters in Westeros. And Clone Goodbrother also joined, and quite a few people. Yeah, and obviously Visenya and Rhaenys are married to him in that time period. Because the Targaryens, for those who don't know, married their brothers and sisters, which eventually led to their downfall in later years. But essentially Aegon's invading Pentos with his dragons. He's also got a massive army as well, which essentially Aegon doesn't really need an army. He has Balerion the Black Dread and 2 other dragons. But I decided to give him a bigger army just to make sure Aegon will win. Because the idea is that Aegon conquers New Valyria. Eventually, I want to have New Valyria as a big empire that eventually rival that of Yeti. So essentially, we start in the far east. So the Starks eventually went east, and they tried to look for mercenary work in the free cities. Couldn't find much, so they went on further. Went to and visited the Slavers Bay, and there wasn't really, and the Starks are very honourable, so they don't approve much of, apart from Brandon, of course. But the Starks are very honourable people. They don't believe in slavery, and obviously slavery in the Westeros is outlawed completely. Apart from the Ironborn, I think the Ironborn still do it, or they do a light version of it. I think they have thralls and stuff, not really so full-blown slave trade and all that. But essentially, Moraine, Yunkai, Astapor, they went there and was like, they weren't very impressed with slavery and sort of left. We're going to look at Carth, but Carth, they're not too keen on the whole warlocks there and all that, so they went on further. And eventually got involved in Yeti. Eventually, there was sort of a little rebellion going on Yeti. I haven't really delved much into it. Essentially, there was like a little big revolt going on around Yeti, and then eventually the Stark showed up. And with what troops they had, aided the Yeti Emperor in hope that the Yeti Emperor would, who I just call him by his name, Bugzan, would hopefully grant them lands and a safe refuge, essentially from their tribulations in the west. And they did. Essentially, what happened is that they showed up on the coast here and attacked the rebel army here and essentially kicked their ass. Of course, the Starks didn't have that many troops, but the rebels weren't entirely massive either. So the Starks sort of came in and attacked, while the other Emperor's armies came down from the north and attacked them as well. And so yeah, eventually the Starks were awarded as essentially the heroes of the day, which eventually led to kinship or some sort of friendship with the current God Emperor. The God Emperor himself is, obviously we're friends with him. The God Emperor is I wanted to make him a really, really good steward and sort of like more of a peaceful man, not sort of a warring emperor, but more of a man at peace sort of thing. And God Emperor Bugzan essentially wants his people to live in peace and essentially wants to expand his empire in a more of a peaceful and diplomatic way. So essentially, Bugzan, which is the Bu dynasty, which essentially ruled. They've ruled ruled Yeti for a while now, for at least nearly 200 years. So, and Bugzan obviously is a brilliant steward. He's got genius trait. He's architect. He's a slave owner. So there's a bit of I guess you could say the Starks are not too keen on the whole slavery thing, and they certainly won't get involved in it. So he's genius, architect, a gardener, linguist. linguist, timekeeper, and essentially he's really good. And has eventually started a campaign of essentially colonizing lots of different places, such as the Isle Whips, the Marahai, I think. What else is the one? The Manticore Isles, and I think a few. I think this is a colony of Psycho, I think. I think there's one up here. Yeah, Great Sand Road. That was a colony, and he's also in these 2 bits here, which is the hidden pass, which leads on to Carcosa. He has actually a de jure claim on this place, which could lead to conflict with Carcosa later on, but we'll see what happens there. I'm not sure how loud the music is, but I think I'm louder, so yeah. So essentially, the Starks eventually were given land, which is called Wolf's Point, which essentially, in the Emperor called the Emperor's Gift, essentially. So yeah, eventually the Starks became friends with the God Emperor. And also, his brother, Buho Go, came over to join us as well. No idea if I'm pronouncing these Chinese/Japanese or Asian names, but we'll roll with it. And also, he married, as a deal, essentially, was that Exile would have to marry one of these Starks, which the remaining Starks is, of course, Donna and Brandon. And he actually married Donna Stark, as... Eventually, I had a sort of an idea that maybe there might be some sort of an incestual relationship with Brandon and Lyra, but I sort of changed my mind with that because I thought that might have been a little silly. So I thought it might be a bit ridiculous as well, because the Starks wouldn't really be. But who knows? I don't know. But I did have sort of an idea to do like a incestuous Stark relationship, but I didn't. I went against that in the end. So essentially, Donna Stark is married Buixar, and yeah, whether or not they're in love, well, we'll find out when she tries to kill him or something. I don't know. But essentially, we are in the Emperor's Province area, where it was sort of the Emperor's sort of prefecture or principality, which is sort of this, which is essentially this green, this highlighted bit here. So eventually, our goal is we're essentially Emperor loyalists, but later down the line, eventually the Starks will take over and become the new Emperors of ET. But essentially, what I'll do is I'll use the Emperor title for Westeros, because that gives us, like, even though it's kind of silly that you should probably just use the GT title, but it gives us the option to, it gives us, essentially we can make ourselves a King's Guard, and I like being called Kings of a big area rather than the Emperor. I don't mind the title Emperor itself, but I prefer, I feel like the Starks being called God Emperors might be a bit ridiculous, so I feel like the Kings of ET sounds a bit better, and I probably would rename the title. It is my eventual goal to conquer essentially the East, to about, ideally, I don't know, maybe to about North Valyria here. I'm pretty sure this is all, yeah, so this could, I don't know, eventually it's my goal to get up to this bit, up to Marine, Yunkai, and Astapor, and eventually I maybe conquer these bits down here as well, and essentially have a big border line here to the west, and essentially we'd border the Emperor of New Valyria, Aegon, if it's even Aegon in control at that point. But essentially, I want New Valyria to be like a big empire in the west, which we'd eventually clash with later down the line. Of course, there's some islands which I might invade, I don't know, we'll see. But it's my goal to have a nice big giant empire in the east, so we control the 3 cities, or not the 3 cities, the Slavers' base, the grand cities in the west here, Karth, Yeti, Ashai, Leng, Carcosa. Maybe we go up to Nefer, perhaps even up to Ibn, perhaps. So I think I might keep my lands. I might keep a border up here. I might not bother going north. We'll see. But essentially, it's my goal to conquer these lands, and eventually we'll colonize Sophoros. I know it's maybe not Sophoros. Maybe colonize more the regions around us. And maybe I'll sort of save the idea of colonizing Sophoros for later on, for perhaps another campaign idea. So yeah, that's our sort of goal. Our goal is to conquer and make a massive empire in the east. We also don't have dragons, so that makes our job a lot harder. And that's part of the fun of it. If we had dragons, the game would just be really easy. I've done it before where we've had dragons before, and the game is just such a doddle. It really is. If you ever play a campaign with dragons, you're just going to win. There's just no way you're not going to win. You'll create a massive big empire, and then and obviously I'm not stupid enough to fuck it up because I've been playing this game for years. So the game would essentially, it would be impossible for me to lose, essentially. So yeah. So I'm going to turn the music down, so I think it's too loud, but that might just be me. Oh, shit. He knocked the bottle over, that wouldn't be good. That actually tastes pretty nice, actually. Yeah, we'll turn the music off for now. I'll turn it on later. But, it's just distracting me. But essentially, we can control these tiles here. Eventually, I'd like to get the High Lordship, but that obviously the Emperor controls that, so that might be kind of difficult. And eventually, maybe get the Principality later down the line. But we'll see what happens. Right now, we're going to play as Emperor Loyalist, essentially. So, in keeping with that theme, we're, Crown Loyalist. And now I'm aware that a lot of people, and apologies if my intro might have been a bit too long, I'll leave a timestamp there, but essentially the video will be like an hour and a half, so it'll make up for it. So you'll at least get an hour worth of gameplay. So for the time being, we're going to play as Emperor Loyalists for now. Whether or not, how long that will last, I don't know. We do control 2 Demnessi, so we could expand possibly over here, or whichever county is weaker. But essentially, we can get a max of about 2,832 men from our Demnessi, and then from vassals it's 102 men, 103 men. So yeah, as you can see, the mercenaries have all been taken by pretty much all of Aegon. Well, not some of the ones in the east, obviously not, but yeah. So we're playing as Count Brandon, who would have been the heir. Well, essentially he was the heir to the north, but I made it so. I made Brandon younger, and I made Donna, and I made him sort of like 1 year after the other, sort of, apart from Rickon. So she's 18, Donna's 19, Brandon's 20, and Jorah's 21 before he died. Our mother's still alive, by the way, the Dustins. So the Dustins are essentially loyalists, so we'd certainly keep them around, is the idea. If I could, I'd marry Dennis off to my sister, but Dennis is already married, so... anyway, let's go through some of the courts. So we got some of the Karstarks that have joined us, which I think is just these two. Yeah, the 2 sisters have joined us, Lysara and Margaret, which eventually we need to decide who we marry at some point there down the line as well. We've got the Dustins, Desmond, which is his son, and then he's got his sister Mylara. We've also got the Muds. The Muds are being, and the Muds were the people who used to hold the Riverlands long ago, before they lost it. You may, if it stops doing it, thank you very much. But you may remember a pretty cool character called Christopher the Hammer of Justice, which was essentially that guy was a fucking badass. Sadly, his son was a bit meh, which eventually led to the destruction of the Riverlands. Essentially, Christopher won. I think he pretty much won. Was it 99 battles he won, and then eventually he lost what he won like 99 battles, and then and the 100th battle he fought, he lost, which just shows how epic that guy was, really. So essentially, the Muds were actually in the north, and they're being tutored by the Breeds, I believe. So I thought I'd take the Muds along with us with our journey east. Essentially, we'd say that we were I probably should have brought over Maya, but jeez, oh well. So yeah, on to the court. Continue on. Warwick Manderley, who is one of the sons, the youngest son of the current Lord of White Harbour, so he went on join with us as well. Barbary Dust. Oh, that's my mother. Yep. Wyler Manderley also joined us as well. Yeah, just Wyler Manderley and her brother. We've got the Karstark, I mentioned that. Lothar, which is just a random Northern courtier. Quite a good steward, so he might come in handy later on. Orwello, who's married to Dennis, that's Dennis's wife. Veon Reed, which is the brother of the current Lord of the Reed, Lord of the Neck, who's come to join us. I've also made myself friends with some of these people as well. Jomar Magnar, who is the second-born son of Lord Alfin of Skagos. Oh, that's the wrong guy. Lawrence Cassell, who is the second-born son of the guy at King's Course, the Cassell Lord. I keep clicking on fucking the other Brandon. So who else we got? Celine Cassell, yep, his sister, I believe, who we're also educating. Medric Glover, who is one of the sons the second-born son of the Lord of the Wolfswood. Keep clicking on Brandon. Some of the Flints of Flint's Finger have also joined us. So Maynard, Darren, who I think are the 2 brothers of the current Lord. Keep clicking on Brandon. Fuck me. Who else we got? Alaric Umber, who is the brother of one of the current Umbers. And we also got another of the brothers here as well. A Toolheart, which is one of the brothers of the Toolheart Lords. The third brother, I suppose. And then we got, lastly, is it last? I don't know. And yeah, of course we got Sarah Risewell as well. And Buho and the other Chinese guys. I'm going to call them Chinese guys, aren't I should probably just call them Yeeti. Is it Yeeti-ish or Yeeti? I'm pretty sure. I'm not entirely sure. And Sarah Risewell, who is one of the sisters that decided to come with us, who basically resented her father. Essentially, Ramsay was going to marry Sarah off to somebody else, and eventually he said otherwise. Sarah said otherwise and fled with us, essentially. Now, as I'm aware, a lot of people on this channel now, especially not how it was before, a lot of people are new to the channel, and especially new to CK2 in my mind. So I'm going to try and introduce CK2 to a wider range of people that aren't familiar with the game. So I'll do my best to do that. So yes, right now Brandon has a... Well, I'm not gonna do too much of a tutorial, but one of the ways I remember how learning CK2 was by watching other people play it. And they don't really go through and explain everything. Like, they don't explain how the traits work, they don't explain everything. And you don't really need to... I mean, it's obvious. The Northman is a culture. Old Gods, religion. Stark is our dynasty. And we sort of have to keep our dynasty going, essentially. We can choose ambitions, which eventually leads us down certain routes later on. We can choose a certain focus. We can choose to... a more economy-centric, a more faith one, a scholarship one, a family one, a more diplomatic one, a war one, or a sort of an intrigue seduction thing, which is always enjoyable. We also have some artifacts. We do have the Crowns of Winter, which I won't wear. We have 2 for some reason. I'm not sure why we have 2. But essentially, we can wear them if we want, but I'm not going to, because unless we become the kings, maybe if we become perhaps the prince of this, maybe I might give it to myself, maybe, but I'll probably give myself the crown once we take the north, is the idea. Oh no, not the north. Once we take over this place and become the new kings and all that. Of course, us making it the Kingdom of Westeros title essentially means, and it's very unlikely that the kings of the various 7 kingdoms in Westeros will form Westeros. It doesn't normally happen. Usually, maybe, and if they reach, like some people manage to inherit the certain big kingdoms, and possibly, but it shouldn't. Hopefully, it shouldn't happen because I want Westeros to be my title. The one thing I dislike about the Westeros title is that it's the grey colour, and it makes sense for some point, but grey is a bit of a bland colour for for a kingdom, really. But oh well. So of course we've got traits. We've obviously got commanding traits, so we lead from the rear. We got dutiful commander. We got skilled fighter, which is obviously fairly decent. We're obviously pretty skilled with a blade. We're also quick, so we're pretty bright or intelligent. Not intelligent as the Emperor, he's got the genius trait, but we're not far off. Of course, he's proud of being House Stark. He's ambitious, so obviously wants to climb up the ladder, so to speak. He's honest, which could contradict that a bit, I guess. But he's honest. He's just. He's obviously going to be. So he's going to be He's going to be just. So if a crime's been committed by one of his vassals, he'll take the proper action, which also counts. This also gives him more honesty as well, and he's also ruthless as well, which means that he's been through a lot of shit, and he'll be ruthless to achieve his gains, essentially. As for Donna Stark, are probably all friends with our last remaining relatives, essentially. Donna Stark is actually the better command. He's got Organizer, which is essentially really handy because it buffs your movement speed of armies. He also leads from the rear and also is a siege leader, so he's quite good at leading leading a siege. He's a trained fighter. He's sort of a average fighter. He's proud, ambitious, bit envious, so perhaps there could be a bit of envy with his brother, I suppose, and he's a bit deceitful, which could cause a bit of a... Because obviously you can see that they have a slight dislike for each other with the whole ruthless and envious and that thing, really. So the best, there could be, I mean, they're stay friends. They're not going to betray one another, but there could be a bit of rivalry or problems later down the line. As for Lyra Stark, she's a elusive shadow. She's quite a good spy master. She's attractive, diligent, charitable, temperate, chaste, and also quite ruthless as well. Which I believe that doesn't actually help us in any way. Okay. The goal is for this series, because there's only 3 living Starks left, which could easily, the Starks could easily get killed, get struck down by a flu or a plague or something or other, and then just die. So we need to secure. So we're obviously going to get some kids through this marriage. Also, when some of the Yeetish, it is Yeetish, okay. Also, when some of the Yeetish people came over to join us, they actually saw quite a lot of interest in the old god religion, and eventually led to some of them converting. Of course, the God Emperor himself won't do that, but some people have actually converted. So, if, say, for example, I don't know, maybe something bad happens, these two suddenly die and he dies, then maybe we might have an old god Emperor of Yeeti on the throne, which could be interesting. Of course, there is a way to reform the old god religion, which essentially gives you a bunch of like different decisions to change religion, like legalize close kin marriage, and there's a lot of others. So you can make it so like females take over, pretty much are in charge of everything. Seabound fleets can navigate through rivers and stuff like that. There's a lot of cool stuff. Sadly, we probably won't be able to do that in this series because we need to control all the old god sort of areas, which is basically Winterfell, Barrett, Harrenhal, Storm's End, Fist of the First Men, which we are nowhere near. I doubt we'd ever get there at all. Maybe the end of the campaign we might do it, but I doubt it. But I'll save the whole old god reformation thing for another series, which I'm sure we'll be doing plenty of them. Of course, feel free to suggest series you might have. You might want me to play as the Foresters, perhaps. They're quite a fun little house to play. Perhaps you might want to let me play as the Boltons, or ask that I play the Boltons, or perhaps the Grey Irons, which is a extinct house from the Greyjoys, from the Iron Irons. The Arryns, the Lannisters, Storm Kings, Gardeners. There's quite a few. There's millions and millions of different series ideas and combinations you can do for CK2, and this is just Game of Thrones mod. Don't get me started on the bloody on the base game and Elves Kings and Lord of the Rings and so much stuff. Of course, I'm open to doing CK3 at some point. And I kind of feel like I kind of want to wait for some more DLCs and stuff to come out for that. But anyway, I think that's enough talking. That's 47 minutes already. Let's stop. Let's get on with the game. I just wanted to make a bit of a long sort of intro, because CK2 is a game it hasn't been on the channel for a while, so I kind of wanted to justify my whole reason of bringing it back. And also there's my history of Game of Thrones as well. That's quite extensive at this point. I've been a fan of Game of Thrones for years, like I said. I know pretty much most of the houses off by heart. And yeah, I just wanted to explain a bit, because I'm gonna try and introduce it as a bit of a guide for people that are new to CK2. I just wanted to explain a bit more about it, but I won't do it in every campaign. Don't you worry. I won't have time for that all the time. So essentially, Wolf's Point is our little domain, and what I've done in the thumbnail, which you will know, which is your first sign that the Stark series wasn't going to be your classic Stark series in the north. It was going to be somewhere else. Essentially, Windhelm in the thumbnail. Essentially, Windhelm in the thumbnail. In the thumbnail, that's essentially what Windhelm would look like. You can see the building, which I think is Castle Chimera, or concept art of Castle Chimera from Ghost of Tsushima, which is also, I'm actually also playing Ghost of Tsushima in the background. I've actually got to the bit where they're killing the Khan, which is in the northern region of the map, which is quite fun, which I'm having quite a lot of fun with that, and I'm still playing it now, which has taken ages. But so essentially this is called Windhelm. Obviously it's taken from Skyrim, I know, but I couldn't really think of anything better. So you've got Windhelm. So in the thumbnail, essentially that's what Windhelm in my mind looks like. We've got the Godswood of the Old Gods, which is actually given to Joe, who is actually an Old God priest, which is cool. And we've also got the city of Winterhold, which we'll eventually hand out to someone later on. Not really sure who. I did think maybe we should just do a custom vassal, or maybe we should just give it to someone that we're friends with. We're friends with a lot of people here, so so I could give it to Tall Heart. I could give it to Tall Heart, perhaps. I could give it to a lot of people. Preferably to someone. Yeah, maybe Cassell. But my worry is, would this settlement be inherited by one of their kin in Westeros? That's my worry. So what I'd do is I'll keep it for now, actually. Because it just gives us more stuff. Eventually, once we take another county, probably Quizsushan. Is it Quizsushan, I think? I'm not sure. This series is going to be another series where I'm just going to be sitting here trying to pronounce names and probably taking I'll probably be pronouncing these names and just getting them all wrong. So, which would be funny. Which would be funny, but I might end up offending them. So if I do offend any of you, I do apologise. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to. I do like to attempt to pronounce names. I don't like to just think, oh, that's too difficult, I won't pronounce that. I'm going to actually try. So first order of business is essentially sorting out a council. Just for a bit of note, I am using all the DLCs, and I'm also using a few submods that I will leave a link to in the description of the video, provided I can find those links. I'm pretty sure I downloaded the submods ages ago. I don't know where. I'm sure I'll find the links eventually. So Count Brandon. Okay, so we obviously got ice here. This is our Valyrian Steel Sword, which gives us extra combat skill, which is pretty good. We need to decide who to marry. Now, obviously, we could marry. I may marry into. I'm not really sure. I may marry into some of the Yeeti-ish culture, perhaps, but we'll see. I would like the Starks to look, the Stark Emperors to look more like the first men than people in Yeeti, really. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes, really. So, what I think I might do is probably marry Lyra off normally. I don't think I'll marry her to matrilineal, because I can't, like, I almost want, like, some of the houses in the south to sort of, houses that are with us to grow alongside us as well. So let's find a wife of Brandon, which is so we've got quite a few options. We've got Sarah Risewell, who is quite envious, patient, erudite, not much that really looks interesting. Maria Flint the Wizard's Watch is humble, selfish, could be an issue, especially in a marriage. Craven, so possibly not. By the way, this series will be uploaded. Is it what day does? Is it? I think Thursday and what was the day I decide on? Yeah, Thursday and Friday. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll do this will be up. It'll be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then you have Khazad-dûm on Monday and Wednesday. I think was the plan. I think. Yeah, Monday and Wednesday. Obviously, it wasn't the video. I don't think there'd be. Obviously, won't be another CK2 and KD. No, there will be another KD episode, but there won't be another CK2 episode this week. So yeah, got my Lara Dustin, who's 13, a bit young, so I'll probably not bother there. I might marry off to the Mud though. How old's the Muds? Possibly. Yeah, I could probably marry her to a Mud actually. I believe Christopher's the eldest. It doesn't really matter, they're both twins. But I'm pretty sure Christopher is the eldest. Actually, will it tell me if I do this? Was it John? I think Christopher is the eldest, so we go for him. Let's find out. No, he isn't. Well, I can just bait the betrothal because it won't affect anything. So I'd marry her to the eldest. There we go. Where were we? Okay, so we need to find a wife. So we got Margaret Karstark, which wouldn't be too bad. She's shy, she's trusting, chaste, which means she probably wouldn't sleep with anyone else. Which does happen in this game. And Barbary Dust. Oh no, that's her mother. That would be incestuous. Lysara Karstark is not bad. She's content, gregarious, rude, honest, but she's honest, so that's good. And she's a hell of a commander, so that's quite good. Where was the other Karstark girl? Oh, she's, yeah, 21. Oh, yeah, I looked at her earlier, didn't I? Which one should we go for? I kind of want to go for a Karstark because I feel like we get along. As long as we can tell the difference because they're both twins and they look the exact same. I think we'll go for a Karstark because the Karstark, they already have, like, it just strengthens. But we need to really strengthen our claim, though, to everything, really. Sarah Risewell really hasn't got much traits, and Risewell did betray us in the war, even though we'll probably forgive her for that later on. But, yeah, the Flints did also betray us as well, so there's a bit of issues there. Casselle's a bit young, 5 years younger. I mean, it's not too bad in Westeros, but, yeah, I think we're going to have to cast that girl. I don't know why the Manly is an option. Could be an option, yeah. She's 18. She's temperate, wrath, zealous, sorry, and just. Well, she is favored to 7. Doesn't like us that much. She does. Why does her sister like us that much? No, she likes us quite a bit because we're both content. Or she's content, so she likes me. And my personal diplomacy is pretty good. So yeah, what's my opinion of her? Not bad. I think what I will do is do the seduction and focus on seducer first. Because arguably I'd like to marry someone that's in love with us. Because otherwise we might marry someone and then they might hate us. And then it'd be a bit annoying. Right, so the Risewells are over here. So I ideally want to marry her off to someone matrilineal. Theon Reed. I kind of want certain houses with us over here. I could marry one of them to Adair and one of the Flints. Yeah, I'll marry her to Adarin, because then that way the Adarin... Because we've already got another Flint here as it is anyway. Yes, our sister as well. Oh no, not any of those guys. So we'll marry her off to... Do we do it to the Mandalay? Reed... Possibly Cassell, that's an option. They're both the same age. I'm trying to see her traits. That doesn't really matter that much. Warwick Manderley's not bad. Maynard Flint. Yeah, they're all friends, so it doesn't matter too much. So I think possibly Maynard Flint, not really. Lawrence Cassell. I'll get some Manderley, dude. We are going to need some prestige, but oh well, we'll get that back eventually. So yeah, that will do. And I hope we do have some kids from Donna with his wife, so in case Bran dies, we have some more. Donna's basically our backup, because if we play as Lyra, we'll be screwed. Right. So that's fine. We'll marry some other people off as well as we go. Actually, we'll leave the women as they are for now, so I might end up marrying them off at some point or other. What we got here, because we will marry just whatever we can find, really. Not you. Loafer, you're not really anything special. Actually, I could marry you matrilineal to somebody. Oh, let's do that with my court. Yeah, married her. Oh, there you go. Because that's good. Theon Reed, you can marry. Yeah, go on, marry her, I suppose. Magna, you can marry her, I suppose. I'm not looking for big, prestigious marriages. I don't really care. They can do what they like, I suppose. Yep, Hightower, who we can apparently speak to. I thought we were out of range because we got the whole, what's it called? The diplomatic range thing on, so it sort of restricts us a bit. To who we can talk to. Who can we marry you to? Not going to try and pronounce. I'm going to try and pronounce that one. You can marry Lame Joff. Well, sure. Why not? Yeah, Darren's matrilineal marriage. Darren Forrest is 64. I doubt really he's going to be able to marry anyone of use, but we'll see. Maybe there might be a Forrest, so we'll see. Jonas. Who can marry you to? Possibly the Manly chick. We'll hold off for the... Actually, no. Yeah, we'll marry her then. Alaric Umber, so you can marry you two. yeah, marry and a shy woman, because that would be interesting. Brand number, you're 52. I doubt really. Go for Helen. With his tool harp, marry Lorilla from Bayasabad, I think. No idea. It's just me trying to figure out how to pronounce things. Would I marry him off? Yes, probably. I could marry him. I could do a matrilineal marriage with Cassell. That would probably. That that could be funny. I could do a matrilineal marriage, but I think law-wise he wouldn't accept. So yeah, I'll marry him off to the Cassell guy actually, because that's a solid match. Lawrence, I think, is having someone soon, coming soon. On to the council. We're also apparently discontent. So okay. First of all, business getting a chancellor. So we want someone pretty good. Loafer, yeah, we go for you. What do we want? Yeah, let's go for that for now. Minister of Justice. We want someone who's pretty good with diplomacy. This guy's got the diplomatic stuff. Although his diplomacy skill is a bit low, I could get my sister to do it. Or Dennis. No, I'll get my sister to... Or could she be perhaps a spy master? Her intrigue is actually quite low. I'll make Dennis my spy master. He can just scheme and just keep an eye on things and make sure no one's trying to kill me. Which shouldn't be the case. I can't see why anyone would really want to kill me, but who knows. Commander, preferably someone that can train... I don't know. No, we'll go for, yeah, my brother. And we'll just train the children, I suppose. We're better... Ooh, maybe... I could give my vassal, but he's going to be the priest anyway, so it doesn't matter. We collect taxes. Court physician, minister of ceremonies. Could give him that guy, but he's got 0 learning skills. There's no point, really. There you go. And what I'll do is I'll start converting. Eventually, it is my goal to... I don't think we'll convert all of it over to our faith, but we will certainly try. I would certainly like to try and convert most of our territories to old gods, and most of the GT area to old gods, if we can. So that'd be my little goal. Ambition-wise, we kind of want to fall in love, really. That's sort of... I guess because we need to... A wife, we need to continue the Stark line. Oh yes, we got to do this stuff as well. Have I got a court position coming? I'm pretty sure I might have already done that. I might have clicked for one. Yeah, so we should get a maester. Essentially, a maester just helps you out with but essentially a maester makes it so that just heals your troops and stuff like that. And I'll show you the stuff that it can do when we get him. Designated regent, someone that likes us. So my brother, definitely. That's literally 5 people, so we'd take all 5 of them. Now, the way we did Seeker 2 before is I used to do a lot of editing. Like, I used to edit out a lot of, like, if something didn't happen, I used to edit that bit out. But I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Would you like me to edit out, say if we... Because before when I did Seeker 2, I would edit out, like, at least 20 years of time. Because mainly nothing really happened apart from... stuff did happen. But I never really considered it very interesting, so that's why I just didn't do it. So, I'm thinking, we're not going to edit it for now. I'm going to see how it goes, see if people want that. And if you want me to edit, then just let me know, and I'll happily do so. Dennis, my friend. He's also my cousin as well, so, yeah. Yeah, better make my priest quite pleased, because he's one of my vassals, and you should really... try and appease your vassals. That's another part of this game. You've got to appease your vassals quite a bit. So otherwise, they might rise up and kill you. Warwick Mandalay and... Yeah, Alaric Umber. Oh, Merrick Muscle the Hunt. Just, like, I don't know why he got removed there, but okay. This also shows us the Liege Council as well, which is kind of cool. I don't know if we'll get put on the Liege Council, but I may accept. We'll just see how things go, I suppose. Wrong type is just because we hold a city, because I think city, you have to be like a merchant. Let me find example. Yeah, it's a military command, I think, in some cases. Or is it sometime... Oh no, you have to be a republic to hold a city. And, well, with theocracies, I think there might be a mod. I think I've seen it in CK3 where you can play as, like, the theocracy. Because in CK2 you can't play a theocracy. This game just wouldn't. If you try and use the commands to change over to, say, the Pope, for example, it just won't allow. It just will. The game will just end basically, and you won't be able to do anything. So, but yeah, but if there's like a theocracy mod for CK3, might even be one for CK2. But if there's one for CK3 where you can play as a Pope, I think that'd be so fun. I'd love to do a campaign where you play as a Pope. I just think that would be really fun. In terms of laws, we got this is the succession law. So say if we die, essentially the oldest child of the ruler inherits all titles. So right now, technically our brother would inherit if we were to die, which hopefully doesn't happen. The males, women can inherit, but only if there are no eligible males. So women are sort of behind, as is how it was in those days. I'll try and abolish the council power. Because that kind of like... I don't mind the council, but something it can be really annoying when the council sort of just gets in your ass. Alright. Oh yes, as my father's dead, so do we... we can't really afford a funeral though, because like, we have no money. I mean, I might... this is probably a bad idea, but see if we can get a loan, I suppose. Yeah. We'll go with that, I suppose, and we just do a funeral. Try not to have a big one. Because he's such a pinnacle character, I feel like we should. I don't know, I feel like having... How did we bring Tauren's body back to Wolf's Point? I assume, like, we must have, maybe... I don't really know. Maybe we picked him up? I don't know, because how would we transport a body from fucking Westeros all the way over here? That's kind of ridiculous, but... I'll just go for just a Stark... I don't know. It just say Prince Joe will come anyway, so I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter. So we do that. We're in command, apparently. Is there a war going on by any chance? Or is he just raised an army? Okay. Let's resign from as a commander, because I actually want to stick around a bit. Yep, they've been married off. Brilliant. There are a bunch of different people in other areas, which is cool. I wouldn't mind marrying into, like, the Valyrian sort of families, because that'd be kind of, like, because we can get to Volantis from here. So we could marry a few, we could have, like, a Valyrian look to the Starks, which I think would be kind of cool. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind the whole Chinese. If the Starks were going to be, essentially have a Yeti look, then so be it. I've no problem with that, really. And so be it, I suppose. Because they don't look too bad. I remember when it used to be like... Because when there was an update when there wasn't any Chinese faction... wasn't any Chinese faction in... wasn't the Chinese Emperor... What was it called? The Jade Dragon DLC? When that wasn't the thing, it used to be like the portraits of these guys. And these portraits were just really meh. Like, they look so pissed off all the time. And I'm not a massive fan of those portraits. So I'm kind of glad that we have, like... And they're like Mongolian portraits, but we have like actual proper Chinese portraits. And they work really well for Yeti. Yeti's such a cool little place where, like, I'd love to learn more about it. Because it's just like one of those places in the world of Song of Ice, which is just so... There's hardly anything known about it, especially Shy. Oh, all hail's divine magnificence, Boo Exum the second. Oh, there's a war going on. So much for that whole see the realm prosper and not go to war for 5 years. Let's read this out. All hail's divine magnificence, Bugzun, the second Azure Emperor of the Golden Emperor of ET. Benin, sovereign of the islands of Leng and the Jade Sea, protector of the five forts, master of the northern marches, and lord of heaven. Okay, all bow before him, I suppose. But spend lavishly, why not? So essentially, what happens is it's a bit like It's a bit like So it's a bit like how Westeros, when they go to a war. Oh, the civil war's kicked off. When they go to war, they're sort of split up in the various little principalities. The Romans instead of war, ET is embroiled in a great combat. As a lawless to the crown, we are honored bound to fight for Azure Emperor. Yeah. He wants me a spy master, really? Okay, sure. We get a Stark bloodline, which just give us some better relations. So, I'll accept that. I guess that's quite the honor. Yeah, so essentially what he's done a colonization of this place. Okay, that's interesting. And essentially pretty much everyone's joined him. Let's see how well that goes. Yep, it worked. Okay, so we will marry her. Okay, brilliant. Actually, let's see. This will give me some more prestige if I do this. Get married, that'll give me some piety and prestige, so we do that. Let's go back to her. And marry her. There you go. It does lower our prestige a bit more, but it's fine. There you go. We'll have a little look around the world. We obviously want the sun. All the faith myth has been restored. Interesting. What do I... Oh, yeah, because I'm pretty sure the High Septon at this point is sort of like... He can sort of do what he likes kind of thing. I'm not too bothered about this whole war thing. We're easily win that. What? To Prince Brown, know what you and your wife are doing, you filthy brute. While you both sick and I'm in dire need of funds and would be... What? We're married. No, fuck you, kid. So the relationship between my brother has already soured. Really? Incestuous adult. What? How is that? How is that incest? Because we're... Okay, I'm the Stark. Okay, Karstark is a cadet branch of House Stark. But let's go back to House Karstark, shall we? Oh, there's Osric Stark, and there's Karlon Karstark in the year 76. So it's been about 300 years. There's at least 300 years of bloodline of family trees separating us. Like it's miles off. He's like she's like a very 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 distant cousin of the Stark. So I don't know how us. Yeah, I don't know how that works. So that's just. Does that? No, it doesn't give me a... I think my brother must be smoking something. Clearly, he must be smoking something over... He's got a taste for the some magic in the shine. He's just gone mad. That was a Manticore Isle native revolt. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to take part. Anyway, let's have a look over here, because there's some civil wars have started. Attacking King Mern for Prince Gawain to claim the Reach, which hasn't quite kicked off yet. Yeah, that's got rid of the council thing. Who's with him? Oh yeah, Storm King Argalak is actually with... Hang on, I'll get to that in a second. So essentially, the Storm King has joined the revolt. The Osgreys seem to be with him. The Peaks didn't seem to join, interestingly enough. The Tumbletons have joined. The Merryweathers have joined, and so have the Osgreys. Sadly, when I oh, and the Arbor has also joined. Sadly, when I do the whole event thing, I put them into the faction. Sometimes the AI takes them out of the faction, which is a little annoying. But the Storm Kings are going over there. Makes sense. They've got their alliance set up there, and the Lannisters are in civil war as well. Oh, he's also... Oh, right, okay. Oh, yes, I forgot. I'm pretty sure in this time period, yeah, the Gardeners actually allied. The Lannisters and Gardeners actually allied together, so that's interesting. So possibly... Oh no, he doesn't seem to be in that war though. But Lannister seems to be aiding him in the Gardener war, so possibly Gardener and their alliance, which does happen in the lore when the Aegon invades, is going on. So essentially, Fair Isle was declared war, currently in favour of the king for the time being. King Lauren of the Rock, so he's declared that. So Gold Roads with him, Ashmark, yeah, Golden Tooth, Ashmark. Yeah, the Rains have joined, the Westerlings have joined, Deep Den, the Hornvale, and Cornfield. So yeah, it's got quite the little rebellion there. And this is what I feared would happen, is that he'd do this. And then essentially what will happen is that I would now bloody well inherit fucking the Kingdom of the North, which is what I don't want to happen. I want to stay in the East. I want to do my own little thing in the East. Don't really want to do anything in the North, so hopefully he has some kids. Oh, he's even made it so that he will actually... So he's actually changed the marriage, which is no longer matrilineal. It's actually now he's actually made... So essentially he will actually... So the Starks will stay on the North, and it just won't be... the Brandon's line, essentially. So, yeah. So if he dies, what I'll do is I'll cheat so that we don't become... Kings of the North, because that's not my goal for the series. I did fear this would happen, because it does happen. So, yeah, fine, is now start. Not really. We can't despise Brandon right now, because he sort of helped destroy the family. Alright, back over here. Prince Buho Go spoke up and told everyone how great the food at my feast was. I was really glad someone was kind enough to say something nice about the food, given how hard I had worked to ensure that the food was the best part of the feast. Okay, brilliant. I did try and force train John Mudd, didn't I? Yeah. We haven't... Oh, yeah, we can. I'm pretty sure I already did that. Okay, anyway. Oh, yeah, we do that. That's going to cost me an arm and a leg, but sure. The funeral. Packs upon packs of people, peasant and noble alike, gather in the courtyard of the first keeper in Winterfell. Okay, so maybe we've gone to Winterfell. Okay. In my mind, this is happening over in Wolves Point, not in Winterfell, but okay. Packs upon packs of people, peasant and noble alike, gather in the courtyard of the first keeper of Winterfell, and surround lich yards to catch a glimpse of the deceased. As the procession leads the body of King Torrhen through the crowded streets to the entrance of the ancient crypt of Winterfell, where the kings of Winterfell sleep, the populace wails its mourn and sorrow as the dead passes by. The leading train stops at the ironwood gates leading below, and the surrounding crowd grows silent. All that is heard are the odd whisper or child's questions as the pallbearers, the dead's kin and closest friends, continue on alone. Through the dark halls they carry the lost, finally reaching the alcove and laying the body to rest below its stone effigy, where each in turn bid their individual farewells. The last to leave reverently places an iron long to across the lap of the statue, and places a hand on the carved stone direwall for a moment before turning and leaving. King Torrhen Stark was slowly flayed to death in the order of Lord Rodwell of the Dreadfort. He was a man who was known to be most courageous. He was a well-respected swordsman, being one of the most capable in history. Torrhen wielded the famous Valyrian steel greatsword Ice, the ancestral blade of House Stark. Okay, we actually call Prince, so yeah. It's my hope that we don't inherit the North, so hopefully they're lovers, so hopefully they should have kids. It's a pretty mean realm authority, which is interesting. But I'm probably, and I shouldn't have really done any, because now I have to wait till chapter in July to change it. We do get a maester from the Citadel. We don't actually get like a normal. But it's my plan, and he's actually in a war on Earth. That's the war we're fighting. Interesting to see if this guy succeeds. I imagine he won't because we've got massive armies, but he's attacked at a good point. Ideally, I'd like to go for that guy, but we don't really have the men. Oh no, we do. We can get up to 3,000. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it'd be less than that. Not spending that much money on it. We're already gonna have to pay that loan back, but yeah. Yep. I'm gonna speed up a bit because there really isn't a whole lot happening right now. No, I don't want to do that. I will continue to drink my liqueur. I haven't. So it's gonna be odd doing this again. So I haven't recorded this in years. Well, I've been playing it, but actually recording it's a whole different story. It is my hope to upload this on Thursday, but it's getting late and I can't stay up too late, so I'm gonna get up for work tomorrow morning. So possibly this video might not be out tomorrow, but Thursday. If it comes out, so what I'll do... Oh, okay. Oh, he has won that war, okay. Avoided. So what I'll do is that this video might be out possibly on Friday. And what I'll do is, yeah, it might be out on Friday, and then what I'll do is I'll just have to delay the Khazad-dûm episode. Maybe I'll do a Khazad-dûm episode again for Sunday, perhaps, but I don't really want to play catch-up with myself. I might just not do a episode. Your ward, Celine, has started breaking the rules of the game. She plays with the other children. Apparently, she thinks winning is more important than fair play. What's a trait? Oh, he's got cancer. Oh, shit. He might die. Which is gonna fucking suck, because he's just... we just start... We're only a few... Like, we're not even a year in, and he's already gonna die. No, let's see if we can get on... No, we are ruthless, so it makes sense for to gain ruthless from us, really. The morning after the wedding feast has come and all the lords and ladies are finally making their way home. Margaret was one fine celebration, and many predict that the newlyweds shall be most content. Brilliant. Okay. So hopefully, I've changed my deduction at some point or other. What's this? A number of your ancestors required a reputation of piety, conviction, and religious belief. Should you follow in their example? Now, will he do this? He's very proud. He's honest and just. Although, despite being a bit ruthless, so, I don't know. Bran doesn't really... He doesn't strike me as a really zealous person. Really? But I'm not entirely sure. Other faith, yeah, it just knocks that. That other faith opinion is going to be a bitch, so I'm just going to go for cynical. Which I'm not bothered. Which actually gives us, no, it doesn't. I thought cynical gave us, it just lowers the church opinion, but I don't really care. Doesn't bother me. What's he up to now? Is he doing that, rebellion thing? Yeah, he's got his ships on his way. Oh, did he lose? Oh no, I think he won. Oh no, yeah, he captured him. And Lysara is now pregnant. Brilliant. I will keep an eye on a bit. What goes on? Count Hula Knock as trying to kill. Right, yeah, the names look so familiar. I can't. I'm not sure who's who. Bobby the Grand Feast and Jin. Okay, yeah, sure. We do that anyway, to be honest. We can construct the flagship, which I won't do yet. We need, oh, I can scarcely believe it possibly, but the pregnancy has made my wife, Lysara, look even more beautiful than she already was. Whenever we're in the same room, I can hardly take my eyes off her. Yeah. I feel like that's what Bran would do. Yeah, we'd auto-stop plots. We can hold... There's quite a few things you can do here. You can hold a tiger hunt. You can... buy slaves. You can buy in Sully, which is something I might do later down the line, possibly. I don't know if I really want to go into the slave trade thing. Maybe not in Bran's reign, but maybe a few generations down we might do that. Because having Unsullied would be pretty epic. Because Unsullied is such a powerful unit. Like, they're very good. We can commission a statue, which is pretty cool. We can do that. Hold a tiger hunt, which is a new thing in the east. Later down the line, I'd like to make some Stark armor, which I'll do later down the line. Hold a melee if we want to. We can do that, I guess. Hire a bards. Do I need a bards, really? Oh, we can make her a handmaiden. Yeah, sure, we'll make a bard. Actually, not. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to just find someone who's competent. Rodwell. That's not really the name I'd like to have for a bard, but here do. Yeah, Rodwell. Okay. Not too bad, I suppose. Also, the feast has begun, and the endless courses as the Emperor Boo and all are impressing the guests. The pinnacle of these is an enormous pie surmounted with smaller pies forming a crown. The cross of the large pies are silvered all round and gilt at the top. Each pie contains a whole roe deer, a gosling, three capons. Capons? I'm pretty sure it's capons. 3 capons, 6 chickens, fucking hell, 10 pigeons, 1 young rabbit, and no doubt to serve as seasonal stuffing and minced loin of veal. 2 pounds of fat and 26, what fucking hell, 26 hard-boiled eggs covered with saffron and flavoured cheeses. Fuck. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous, alright? As the Emperor's Booingson's feast is over and it's time to begin the long way home, after the food, the entertainment, and the warmth, the real world suddenly feels cold and hostile. Yeah, okay. I wonder if we could educate his son possibly, but I don't know if we do that. Yeah. I don't read through all the events. I will read through some of the events, but not all of them, because there's a lot to read. How's the war going in the Reach? 3% in favour of the king right now. Oh, she's finished. Yeah, not bad, I suppose. Let's see if we can educate the Emperor's son. I imagine he'd refuse, right? But I don't know, maybe. No, yeah, it's the whole foreign power thing. No, I won't do again. I want to stay loyal with my... Brandon's honest and just. I don't think he's going to really screw from someone else. Hey, we've got a daughter. Brilliant. Jane Stark. Am I content with that? Yeah, I guess that works. I'm content with that name. I'll try and keep the speed going, so otherwise we won't actually get anywhere. I won't betroth her yet. I will, I do very much intend to educate her, but because, in some circumstances, your wife could die and you get widowed, and then Jane might be the only, the last remaining person from House Stark left, so, I won't map Betrover just yet. But, yeah, it's a bit laggy, isn't it? I've just, oh, Morgan's in the Great Tiger Hunt. Yeah, sure. Oh, fuck. Dennis, what happened? Died in suspicious circumstance. Who the hell killed him? Oh, he was killed by thugs. Oh, right, okay. Huh. Fuck's sake. I didn't really want him to die. Desmond will have to make sure they live on, I suppose. Get Warwick to educate him for now. No, that sucks. I wanted, yeah, not sure who killed them off then. That's really surprising. I guess his wife will take up the honor, I suppose. Maybe it might be better to just, I don't really know, because I don't really want to scheme because someone might kill her. There's that plot there, but I don't think that was related to his death at all. I'm gonna start fabricating claims on this place. It's time to begin the conquest. We're trained troops here. We are up in the levy size already. That's fine. Yeah, just a scheme, I suppose. If you get killed, you get killed. I'd rather not die. But, no, that's not related. I don't know. Oh, did he win that war? Yeah, Lauren actually won that. And he's put him under them for some reason. The High Lordship's been given to Lyle Crakecool. Okay, that's interesting. Well, that's before everything. He's okay. He didn't die. I think that was when they lost their sword, wasn't it? Yeah, because he's got Red Rain now. Yeah, Golden Tooth. Oh yeah, Lyman was mauled to death by a lion. Okay, he's actually killed his kin. Did he kill his? I'll look at that in a second. It seems Lord Gerrin has now been given that. Yep, Reynolds was beheaded. Okay, the Westlings aren't doing too great. Yeah, I'm not sure. No, he didn't. Rickard survived, it seems. Ashmark, it seemed. Yeah, Ossifer's got revoked. He's currently in prison right now. And Tyrek Lorch got granted it. That's interesting. The Braxers, I think, lost it as well. Yeah. His brother was mauled to death, so, yeah, he died before. So the Westfords got it, which is interesting. Dyer, Dennis, oh no. Rupert Lyndon got sent to the wall. Samuel was hanged, so, okay. And the Cornfields, they stayed neutral. They stayed loyal, didn't they? Interesting. But the war over here continues on. 49% in favour of King Mern. Oh yeah, what happened to his kin then? Oh no, Lauren's still around. It says he killed his kin, but I don't know who. No, just look here. Oh, apparently it's related to somebody. Oh, extended. Oh, right, okay. Alright, okay. The hunting. Oh, whoops. I have two martyrs, so if I click to the left of it, if I move my mouse cursor to the left and I accidentally click, it knocks me off the screen, which is annoying. The hunting party moves through the jungle. You're hoping luck will find you a tiger to kill. Suddenly there is a movement in the underbush and a large tiger springs out, roaring fiercely. It attacks the hunting party, striking at one of the hunters, ripping and tearing flesh before disappearing again into the jungle. Yeah, maybe it's a bad. Oh, did I kill it? No, I got Snow Bear pelt for some reason. I don't know what's that. Oh, it's ceremonial gown. Okay, that's pretty cool. We can equip that because we have a library. Apparently, do we have a library? I didn't think we had a library. No, but I can't rebuild anything too much anyway. It will be a bit of a slow series. Yeah, failed hunt. It will be a bit of a slow series, this one, because obviously we are literally starting at the very bottom of the food chain. It has a count and eventually rising up, which is going to take a while. I cannot simply bear the sight of my Uncle Brant. I don't really see why we care. He's had the bastard with Barber, apparently, whoever the hell that is. I mean, just screw your wife and have kids. please. I don't want to inherit the north. Go away. Yeah, I don't really... I couldn't care a shit, give shits about my brother. What's this? What's that? What's that? Tell me! No idea. Well, it is. That's sort of what happens if you don't do a colony properly. They get turned into like ruins and stuff. This is pretty cool. What's happening there? Oh, pirates are attacking. Oh, whips. The ruins in the old gods are growing ever larger and are truly a sight to behold. Recently, I've gotten even bigger. A great testament to gods. Awesome. Oh yeah, it has actually become... The model has actually changed to Godswood. Awesome. I stumbled into the court eating cookies outside the kitchen. The courtier apologized several times and offered me... Oh, my minister. Okay. The courtier apologized several times and offered me a cookie as an apology for being in my path, and the cynic may got me the best of me. I lost myself in cynical comments about how the courtier was trying to poison me with baked goods. Possibly spoke... Okay, maybe... Did he? Priest Joe wants me to stop being so cynical. That is a promise I would not be able to hold, but I won't disturb him anymore. Okay. We get cynical. Fair enough. He doesn't like me that much, but alright. Now we got Wyman Tool Hearts arrived. Galbert Flint of Weir's Watch. It's always good to see. Oh, we had another... Oh, that was the other guy. And Mario Reed as well. Awesome. Oh, what's going on over here? It's a slave raid. Nothing special. You want to marry this 34... No. Not really. Brother, you're going to try and kill the Emperor's son. That's a real smart idea. That's a terrible fucking idea. I can't ask him to stop, can I? So, if he gets himself killed, I'm not going to defend him. Especially as we are just, so we're not going to... we're not going to be like, okay, yeah, you, Oh, Reed. I think I missed an event. Are you trying to become the... Okay. Right, good luck with that. Oh, here we go again. Another rebellion. No, I'm gonna... I was trying... I don't really want Brand to get himself killed in battle, really. Oh, he's declared another retaliation against Jarl... Who? Oh, this guy over here. Okay. Not sure what that will do, but obviously we'll support the throne. And my wife's pregnant wants some more. Sure. Yeah, let's not get killed as spy. Actually, to be fair, I'm not going to be the spy master. I know what will happen. I'm going to get assassinated or some bollocks. I don't want to do it. So I will not. Oh, what's going on over here? Hey. Not for nothing is the Stark sigil a direwolf. You have long had vivid dreams being some great beast of the forest. Stalking its prey at the head of a mighty pack. Now to your amazement, a large wolf has emerged from the woods. Strangely docile, it seems to be seeking you out, almost as if it recognized you. I'm a wolf and I recognize... Yeah, we'll take a wolf, why not? I wish it would give you some personal combat bonus, because technically with a wolf in a battlefield, it would really improve your personal combat skill, but I guess it is just personal combat skill, not really... doesn't really take into account a wolf, really. But you think it would, because I mean, it doesn't do it with Aegon, it doesn't do it with Dragon Rider either, so... Yeah. How's his, the Pantos, did he win against Pantos? Yeah, he did, because he's attacking... Yeah, he's attacking Mir now. Oh, he did take these regions up here, which is the Andalos regions. Yeah, we'll take a walk. I believe now we can actually... Actually, just have a look what's going on here. Oh, he's attacking him for that. Okay. Ultros has stayed out of it for some reason. 84% King Edmund of the Reach. Oh, as the old king died. Oh yeah, Mern the... Is that the 9th? Yeah, the 9th, I'm pretty sure. Died in battle against some random dude, okay. I was given Gwaine. Oh, Gwaine's been given the city of Old Town. Interesting. So that war's over and done with. Yeah. Oh, Argilac's dead. Hey, we've got a son. Awesome. I'll look at that in a second. Argilac was killed by Lord Tarley. Oh, okay. So, and he did have a son just before he died, so it's mates. We've got Arlen the 6th on the throne now. Had twins as well. And, yeah. What's Lord Old Town doing? Oh, he's still around. One of his daughters died, sadly. My friend who's now back at... Okay, why has he gone back there? No idea. I'm not really sure. Okay, whatever. Well, he's left his daughter behind, so... Seems a bit silly. I think we'll name my son in honor of my... Yeah, probably Tauren. Because his father was unjustly murdered. So, it kind of makes sense, I guess. Yeah, Tauren of the North. Yep. Okay, we're good. We got a son. That's pretty good. I do use spacebar to pause the game sometimes. Have 5 children. Want a decent family. To keep the line going. Force train Mud. There you go. He's get some traits up with him, so that's good. I'll probably let my daughter be educated by, I guess, my wife? Probably? Yeah. Tauren, I'll educate myself. And now we sort of need to decide who do we marry these people off to. Today my brother... Oh, God, there we go. Today my brother Prince Don asked me for a fief of his own to govern, especially like the city of Winterhold. Really? I don't... I guess. Because we are going to give it out at some point. I wasn't going to give it to someone else. But at the same time, I mean, he won't inherit it because he'll become like a merchant. That could screw me though. But then again, we've got 2 kids, so we should be fine. Yeah, sure, have it. And his wife doesn't like him that much, which is a shame. So that's, did he lose any titles at all? I don't think so. Nah, he's fine. That's good. Of course, I noticed before the, UT tends to invade Leng at some point or other. This guy might do it at some point. He's actually looking for Lyran's Steel Sword. Interesting. Who do we marry our kids off to? So we got Jane, who's 2. I could marry her off to the Emperor. The eventual heir to the Emperor, possibly. Yeah. There's a bit of an age difference. There's a 6-year age difference, but it's not that bad. It's the world of Song of Ice and Fire, where it doesn't really matter. I probably won't marry my son off to her, though. I might look for someone else. Not really sure who. Hightower. Bastard Hightower, which is, no, apparently it's a Hightower. For some reason we can interact with Hightower. We can interact with... Can we interact with Dawn? No, we can't interact with Dawn, but for some reason we can interact with the Old Town, but I don't know why. Maybe it's because, possibly, Old Town is... I don't know. I'm not really sure why we can. But okay. I'm not really sure why we can interact with them, but alright. I'll probably look around off camera, really. That's the kind of stuff I will do off camera. Like, I'll look for marriages and stuff off camera. Because that's sort of... That's kind of... Oh, my friend died. God damn it. He died of cancer, yeah. Of what he would have done. Oh, I'll marry her off, though. Could marry Rodwell off to... Court Bard. Oh. What? Oh, she's gone back there. Okay, well. There goes the Cassels apart from the other girl, but that's the end of that. Where'd that Cassel go? Yeah, Robin Cassel. And he's just abandoned his daughter in... For goodness. That was really silly. I don't know why he's done that. Yeah, I guess you can marry the Glover guy. Person that gives maybe the Cassels might remain over here, I suppose. But it seems to go back to, which is a bit of an issue there if they go back to the certain areas. But oh, not too keen on old gods, aren't they? I could marry him off to her, which there's a bit of an age gap of 7 years, but we might get a claim on the Empire later on, which the problem is, though, we wouldn't be able to push it. We wouldn't be able to push that at all. Right. So this is a duchy. We could just have a look at some of the leaders and kings around this area. Would he accept anything to do with me? Probably not. There's that guy. It's a bit old. And she's also a bit older. Well, I'll look with someone a bit younger to sort of match my kid's age. Prince Paul Rye. Not really. It's a good guy, married a dude in the 5-Fort region, I suppose. The problem is they don't like, because I'm a different legend, they won't take anything from me. So I'm going to roll with this guy because he's more powerful. Even if it's a non-aggression pact, it's better than the guy attacking me later down the line. So, yeah. It might mean that some of my kids might look a bit Yeety-ish looking. But it's not the end of the world, really. I can always cancel later on if I feel like it's not really right. or if there's a better option around. Yeah, I was going to try the mint one, but I haven't even got to it yet. I'm not a very fast drinker. I take my time with it. I will probably wrap this off fairly soon. I do have to go to bed tomorrow. No, I do have to go to bed very soon. Because otherwise, I won't be awake in time for work, and that'll be annoying. That'll be problematic. I'm sure you can imagine. Yeah, Laz is kicking his ass. Yeah, the Reach War's over. Edmund won. I don't know what happened to his... No, it's... Gwen was exiled to Black Rush, it seems. As was Mern. Who knows, there may be more wars to come there. Oh, Old Town's been completely stripped from them. The High Tower's still... And Manfred was sent to the wall. And Adam was now a new lord. Who else was in that war? Yeah, Osgray, you were there as well, but you haven't lost any titles. Golden Grove in the war as well. I think... Was it Footley in the war as well? I can't quite remember. But it seems Hightower got the punishment. Oh, he died ages ago. And his kin were exiled. So most of the rebellions I subbed didn't... nothing ever happened. Yeah, then... oh, that's interesting. Shar Arrow married Prince Bork beyond the... Okay, and they've got... That's pretty strange. Okay, I wonder why they did that. I'm surprised that Aaron's would accept such a deal, really. It seems the wildlings aren't doing too much. Got a lot of money, though. Oh, I gave him that money. I just did this. He's got a lot. I gave him a lot of money, so he'd actually... Because I like the wildlings almost to kind of succeed. It just makes the game a bit interesting. The wildlings invade the north. That'd be kind of fun. Especially, there might be some justice for what happened previous. Rodwell's still alive. Depressed, apparently. And Fear's alive. I will check now and again. Not good. Alan Manderley. That's a good name. And Walder of Flint. Okay. Oh yeah, Cregan. Oh, his father died. Maybe his kin returned the king's cause. For what reason, I don't entirely know. Maybe they just had a better off deal or something. I don't know. Oh, people have been captured by the North clans. What the hell are North clans doing? Oh, he had a war with the North clans. Lord Don II's claim on the North clans. Oh, it seems he died. Idarion was drowned. Yeah, he married the Bolton and he was drowned in the vat in wine in the Old King Brandon. Jesus. What a lovely chap. So his wife, who married another Flint of the Mountains, is around. Okay. Oh, we can... Desmond. Have that. I'll look at that in a second. Yeah. Can we force trade him again? There you go. We got skill fight. Awesome. That's pretty good. Harlan Stark. Not really a fitting name. Rickard. Benjamin Stark. I kind of want to name one of my brothers that were killed. Yeah, Jorah Stark. And then we'll probably call someone Rickon at some point or other. Yeah. You got another son. Awesome. So yeah, the family's growing. That's good. Is Shai invading those guys? Yeah, he was invading. He's conquering. The Shai is getting stronger. Interesting. Karth is enslaved in the slave raid. And Carcosa's... I'm surprised he hasn't declared war on Carcosa. I do think he will. To all subjects... Oh, this is... the inheritance of Count of the Isle Whips has been thrown into question. After the untimely death of Count Wu Jaisho, he left no clearance, hereby named by his name his wife, the heir. Okay. Interesting. We need a bit more money to pay off that loan. I need 200 gold now, Jesus. I can ask Courtiers to leave court. I think my courtier size is... Yeah, and it says 24. Call her a physician at once. She does actually want to marry a ruler. Isn't really many people around. I don't have the money, so no. Well, I do have the money, but I'm saving it for this loan. And I'm going to have to pay money for this. Speaking of which, this is something to end the episode off with. Wait, what's going... Oh, for fuck's sake. He's been given the High Lordship. Which means I can't fucking do anything there. Because I'm not beating 5,000 troops. No. So that's useless. So, I have to let it go. I can take this. Yeah, I can go for this one. Well, I have to go for that one then. Which is annoying, but there you go. I might even be able to take a few of these items, but the problem is... Oh, my Demness is at 3 now. That's cool. So I could take the Isle Whips later down the line. Yeah, this is part of the main prefecture, so... it's part of the King's domain, so I can take that. It's a slight issue with being under the King's, like... Within the King's sort of High Lordship area. Is that you can't really get the High Lordship from... Because maybe the King might grant it to me, perhaps, but I don't know. We'll have to see on that front. He might do, but... don't know. Oh, she's she's pregnant. Brilliant. Hopefully that she hasn't been sleeping with someone else. I guess that'll be annoying. Because that does happen in this game an awful lot. Oh, Lord Commander Robert Oakenshield. Harris Howard has died. Oh yeah, Howard gave his son Great Wick, which is something I did just to... Because he had like no vassals that were loyal, and I just gave it to him. I goes Aegon's War... 69% in favour of Aegon. Yeah, Aegon's gonna win. There's no way... Why is Aegon gone celibate? Because if that's the case, that's the Targaryen dynasty fucked. It's gonna fall back to... Yeah, that's a really stupid decision to do, Aegon. He's gone celibate and pretty much fucked his entire Targaryen line. Because they're all married to him, and there's no way they're gonna be able to get kids now. So, there goes... The Targaryen line is pretty much fucked now. So... Aegon, the most epic person that probably could be in, eventually the conqueror of New Valyria, decided to go celibate and pretty much fucked everything. So, eventually, I'd assume the Baratheons will have to inherit. Well, then he's a bastard, so he can't inherit. So, New Valyria eventually will probably go to his sisters, or it would go to a big election where they'd have to debate their next leader. Oh, yeah, slave raids on that, it seems. Oh, pregnant again. Quan of Quan's host. Who's that? Oh, okay. Well, how long it will be till they attack Carcosa? I don't want to pay the interest. Fine. Does that lower my amount, or is that just interest? No, I still have to pay fucking 200 gold. God's sake. So I hate taking loans, but I only really do. That's why I only take loans when I really have to. Oh, you're much better. We'll take you. Might I'll do a better job. Yeah, this guy's like my enemy, so I need to gain these counties and work together to beat him. I've learned there are certain factions within the realm working to undermine royal for that. What? If you are involved, plan to become so, I trust your complicity in these matters now. Yeah. I thought it was, oh, the great samurai guy dude. I'll leave my name. Yeah, who the hell's that? Sorry, name who? It isn't even related to the guy. Okay, well. Alright. And another kid, brilliant. Zara. Got a better name than that. Daisy Stark. Yeah, that works. Yeah, we're getting loads of kids now. I'll go off camera and we basically sit through and just go through it and be like, okay, right, so we're going to marry this person here and that person there. That's essentially what I do. So I apologize if it hasn't been, of course, there won't be as much action as there is in Total War because there's always me fighting a battle. No. So, but in this, it's going to be a little bit different, which is nice. It's a bit of a change of scenery from the usual. Oh, yeah, it's got a son. Prince Alton. Awesome. Yeah, eventually we'll save time for Torin because we want to get him sorted out. Yeah, stop making me... Stop popping up. Convert. Go Zillas. Go Cynical. Yes, I've made my decision. Okay. And marrying them off. Yeah, it's your mother and my cousin. Shame about Dennis. That kind of sucked. Oh, Warwick just gave him a new trait. Everybody lies in the cause and Wolf's Point are no exception. One from Dead Spirit and telling me on two still not everybody lies. Then I knew they all lied. Okay. After Maria told me this is a Flint girl. Told me not everybody lies. I almost started laughing. I told her if she could prove that I would start believing mankind again. Which is funny because I'm honest, but okay. I've lost Cynical. Now it will pop up again and ask me to go Cynical again, so there's no point. I've got a lot of bloodline trait mods on, so I'm pretty sure it means yeah. So Brandon building means I might get a wolf, so that's quite good. Characters then be brave and honourable, so we might get. But we don't have one for Cynical. I don't know where the Cynical's coming from. Maybe it's from the Carstarks? No, I'm not really sure. Oh, there's a peasant revolt. I'm sure the king will absolutely struggle. Oh, that's 28,000. That's quite a lot. That's up north. That's going to be quite the one. The Emperor. No, I'm sure the Emperor will handle that though. I don't know. Will he? No, he's got plenty of troops over there. John adopts a very authoritative tone of voice and everyone includes elves and you. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Oh, guys. For Christ's sake, that event keeps popping up so much, it's ridiculous. I will end off the episode in a moment soon. Just see what happens with this rebellion, that might be interesting. An elephant's gone crazy, is running amok in the town outside the castle, has killed several people. What should we do? A couple of veteran elephant handlers managed to snare and capture the elephant, has been brought safe to the pens. I'm glad I don't have to do that in my work, because I'm not in the zoo. For fuck's sake, he's gonna... I'm gonna have to pay it because I've got. I mean, it's annoying. Every time he comes for interest, I have no money. I can't get this loan paid off. Like, for fuck's sake. Don't take loans, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take loans. Do I really want my? I'm sure you she'll learn much being raised by a man of Yiddish descent. I don't know if I really want. Fine. It should be fine. I mean, we can always change it if something's going wrong. I'll teach him to be more proud. And that didn't work, apparently. I'm nearing 2 hours, so I'll try and rant off just before then. No, he lost that battle. Rival? When the hell did I have a rival? No. Oh, just now. I can't stand Count Hilo Knock. He takes every opportunity to insult me, berate me. And clear as man wishes to become my enemy. Yeah, seems that way. And who is he? Marahai. Oh, he's down here. Maybe we should pay him a visit at some point. The issue, though, with taking those settlements is that they're colonies. And they're going to require me to spend a lot of money in making them really good. So I might not do that. God Empress Liu Jing is such a gracious host. Since some time now, she's become famous throughout the realm for her jovial, welcoming nature, as well as its exquisite foods that she graces her guests with during her parties. Okay. Oh shit, one of my daughters died. Died from bad cases of flu. Yeah, people do die quite easily. It makes sense. It's the medieval times, I suppose. I mean, I think in Westeros, it's sort of a bit... I mean, disease is less likely to kill you, I think, in Westeros. I'm not entirely... in the world of Ice and Fire in general. So, yeah. Hey, he's finished his education. And so is Tristan Mann. Not the best... He's a better fighter and not as good as a commander as... But Tristan's a better commander and he's a poorer fighter. Okay, interesting. What do we do now? Do we educate... Yeah, we couldn't educate the Emperor's son, so that's off the table. That's off the table completely. I guess we educate my other son at some point or other. I'll get my daughter to be educated with my wife again. Yeah. Alright, I think I just quickly do these. Because there's a bunch of these to do. I'm just to be random with them. I'm not bothered about, oh yeah, Tallheart did have a kid and he's 51. Good. Humility, yeah. Yeah, faith, why not? Oh yeah, the Mollans are with us. I know they aren't, because he's gone to the wall for some bizarre reason. Oh no, he must have just come to our court and... I don't know, maybe, I don't know why. Why is Donna Mollan with us? I have no idea. Anyway, we're in the episode off there. We're going to have a little recap what's going on. It seems another revolt. Defend against Carl of North Road. Oh, so she who... Oh, right, okay. What happened here, then? Oh, wait, okay. So... Oh, they had a rebellion, so I think... Did, I'm not really sure. Oh, no, Ryes is over here. Okay, yeah, so... They both got executed. I don't know what happened there. Okay, Adara is now the last one left, so if they lose that, it goes back to Arthos. And then they are actually the last two members of that family. And if she loses that war, which I don't really know if she will, I think she... I don't know. This guy's in rebellion, so I think she might, possibly. Then it'll go back to Arthos and then eventually back to her again. Maybe Arthos might need to have some more children, I think. The wildlings aren't doing anything. Eventually they might go down and attack Night's Watch. Also in this time period, the North Road is part of the North at this time. That's interesting. Roswell Bolton, who's 44, he's got chest pains and drunk. It seems he's getting his comeuppance now, I think. Lord Domeric from Stone Shores come of age, and so is Lord Norrin, who's now under the Deepwood, under the Glovers. Oh, Theo died in the dungeons. It must have been a rebellion or something or other. It seems Brandon just killed everyone. Yeah, Harwood... Oh, no, Harwood inherited that, and for some reason he just... Oh, no, hang on a minute. Oh, no, he's his vassal. Okay, right. Okay, he did inherit it. Interesting. How's it, Aaron? Oh, the Riverlands have risen up in rebellion, or it seems. King Roland was second. The Mountain Vale is on his way to coming of age. So what happened here? So it seems the Ironborn, I think... Oh, no, hang on. Let's have a look. Okay, so... Oh, there's a bit of a conflict going here. Harren the Black died. And then... Who got this? Oh, Edmund Tully. I don't know how that happened, but okay. How did he get that? Oh, conquered as the claimant. Oh, Edmund must have led a rebellion and conquered it. Okay. So the House Tully is now... Kings of the Trident, which is pretty cool. How's Aegon doing? Oh, he's attacking Tyrosh now. So it'll be interesting to see what his empire looks like when he's done. So the Hoars, so Harren II took over and he killed his... There must have been a revolt or something. But, oh no, or was there? Oh, he might have just killed his brothers. Doesn't have the dueling trait, so I don't know. Maybe they duel... I'm not really sure what happened there. There might have been a battle, perhaps, possibly. I'm not really sure what happened there. The Lannisters, Lauren the Wise, as you can see, not doing a whole lot. Defeated that rebellion and cemented his reign ever since. The City of Old Town's gone to Sir Norman Merryweather. Okay. But the Hightowers have got lordship over it then. So they might take it back, who knows. Horn Hill's been imprisoned by the King of Reach. Not sure what happened there. Yeah, a lot of kids have just died stillborn, Jesus. Prince Garth, who's actually with the Iron Shield, which is a mercenary band, which is interesting. The Storm King, we've got all on the 7th, 6th, sorry, not 7th. He's not doing a whole lot. Dawn, yeah, okay, yeah, she died of old age, not long after we started. Nyme of the Wise died froth in the mouth. And Dara Dawn's now taken... Oh, okay, she's married a gardener. And he's a brother of the current king. That's interesting. So the gardeners can inherit... There could be a gardener line, the gardeners in control of Dawn. Which would be interesting. Not sure how well that will go, but alright. Free City's not doing a whole lot. Really? No. There was a war, I think. No, nothing interesting. The Dothraki are fighting. Eventually, the Dothraki might actually become a big, powerful kingdom, but unless they get past the Bone Mountains, which is these bits here, these mountains here, there won't be a problem for us. It's the Jogos Nahai guys over here, which is sort of like the Dothraki, but a sort of a more eastern Dothraki, I think. I'm not entirely sure the whole backstory. Ibn's not doing a whole much over here. Not doing a whole. That's not doesn't make any sense, does it? Not doing a whole lot. Coher's been taken by the Hote. Oh, the Hote family. That's... I'm pretty sure the Hote family had Vargo Hote, isn't it? So wasn't the Hotes a family? I'm not sure why they've now just become independent from the way it looks like, but I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, they have taken Lorath, so because they've got control of that. I think maybe Norvos, or was that part of... I'm not really sure. Volantis did actually expand up here a bit. Interesting. Were they colonies? I'm not sure. I might have just invaded it, I think. So Volantis is up conquering. They'll probably getting ready for Aegon to come for them. Yeah, Aegon's 1% in favour of him for now, but I think that will change. Lys has been attacked by... oh, no, Lys is attacking the Myr guys. Attacking Myr. Core took the Dagger late, which is, I think, held by pirates before. Not a whole lot going down here. What's over here? Calf. Oh, Calf has lost this part. The Jade Gate. Yeah, so this is all part of Calf. And this bit here. They've taken this bit, which I think this bit was a colony, I think. I'm not too sure. But yeah, the Jade Gate got independence. Actually, wasn't the Jade Gate already... No, the Jade Gate was actually part of under Calf. So it seems that the Jade Gate took over. Other than that, not too many... Those guys aren't doing that much. Ashai's actually become a kingdom now, pretty much. They've unified the Shire, apart from these reading here, which are just... Oh no, this isn't actually a colony. They can take that if they want. They probably will. So the guy and these bits around are just colonies. So maybe they might take them over, I don't know. But yeah, High Councillor Sumalika of Ashai, which is the first ever king of Ashai, actually, or great city, I suppose. Which is interesting. Lane's not doing a whole lot. Carcosa can't do anything because they can't expand west because Yeti is just way too powerful. So I do expect Carcosa to get invaded. If not, it'll be in the rain whenever the hell we take over, I suppose. I'm interested to see what happens with the Bone Mountain kingdoms over here. Nefer, in my experience, tends to do not really anything, or just tends to get raided, I think. Be a fun little series. We did a series over here. And colonize these little areas as well, and all that, and maybe then went on to invade Ibn or something or other. That'd be cool. That'd be an interesting series to do. Play as like a house or something or whatever, and then eventually went westwards or something. That'd be an interesting little series. Maybe have maybe like exiles of maybe like the Grey Irons or something that have gone east, or the remnants of House Hoar who went after Aegon invaded the Riverlands. And Aegon thought he killed them all in Harrenhal, but some escaped. Or it might be like a bastard son of maybe like a bastard son of what's his name? Harris Hoa, the Lord Commander, perhaps. That might be interesting. Or perhaps the Hoars have like migrated beyond the wall or something or other. Like, no, that's again, like I said earlier, there's a ton of different series ideas you could do. It's the same with Total War and Seeker 2. There's an endless supply of campaigns that I can do for all of them, to the point where I don't think I'd run out. It's the same with any other game. If I wanted to, like, I don't know, maybe want to do Assassin's Creed, the amount of Assassin's Creed games there are, I'd be doing them for ages. It would be ages till we moved on to something else. But anyway, that's all for now. I thank you all very much for watching, and I hope you guys have enjoyed so far, and I hope you stick around for the whole series. Of course, right now, we're like I said, we are small. We need to grow, and taking this county first. Which is actually, this guy actually died. Well, that will greatly strengthen us. And hopefully, maybe the Emperor will give us the prefecture. Oh, look, the 5 forts. Oh, this guy died of cancer, and he just took it. Okay. Yeah, we've been playing for 8 years so far, so we've accomplished quite a bit in 8 years. We've got kids, we got people, we got plenty of kids being born and stuff around the world, around our little domain. So we have a lot of different little houses and stuff that in the east, like the Cadet branches of Mollans, Magnars, Mandaleys, Flints, White Rise World, Starks, Mandaleys, Dustins, and all that, which would be cool to see. Yeah, it's my intention to marry Desmond off to somebody. Yeah, no, I'll do all that off camera. Because that'll take ages. And the video will go on for like 30 minutes. So yeah, I'll do a bunch of marriages off camera. And that's the only stuff I'll really do. I'll do the odd... If I can... What I'll do off camera is I'll just do marriages and stuff off camera. Because that takes a while for me to go around finding people anyway. Maybe I might do a slight... I might start some buildings, perhaps, and I'll just show you what I've started building, perhaps, and go from there. But let me know what you think. Do you think there should be more editing? Do you think there should... would you prefer just not be any editing, and we just record as we record, and as the series goes on, really? But let me know. I'll be happy to... It'll be good to know some thoughts. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next episode. Farewell.